Carbon tax rally on at Parliament House in Canberra today. The opposition leader Tony Abbott has just stepped up at this rally. We might take a listen in now.
Ladies and gentlemen, you didn't come in here from me. This man standing alongside of me, he came as leader of the opposition to fight off the carbon pollution reduction scheme proposed by Kevin Rudd and Penny Wong. He fought the fight where he actually gave the government the opportunity to have a double dissolution, but they did not have the guts to go forward with that. He has never taken a backward step in the fight of this carbon tax. He warned the Australian people prior to the election that if Labor wins, they will reverse, they will have a backflip on their word, they'll introduce a carbon tax. He's out there fighting for your cause and for the cause for the future of Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tony Abbott.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can see a lot of people, a lot of very enthusiastic people. I can see a lot of people that I agree a very great deal with. I can see some people who I probably don't agree with on everything. I can see a lot of signs. Some signs I agree with. Some signs I don't necessarily agree with. But I've got to say this. There are two things we all want to say today. We want to say, first, we don't want a carbon tax, and second, we do want an election. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first anniversary, the first birthday of a very significant statement. This is the statement which has reverberated around this country and will continue to reverberate around this country. There will be no carbon tax under the government I lead. This is the first anniversary of the big lie, and it's our job as Australians to make the point that lies don't pay. To assert the importance of truth in government. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it just isn't right that people should say one thing before an election to win votes and do the opposite after an election to hold on to the keys of the lodge. There is one fundamental message that we want to go out from this place to every nook and cranny of our country. There should be no new tax collection without an election. I just want to make three brief points about the carbon tax. First of all, it's not fair. The Australian people are already suffering from rising prices. Our electricity prices have already gone up by more than 51% since the end of 2007. We don't want them going up and up and up. We can't afford them to go up and up and up, and we don't need them to go up and up and up to protect the environment. It's not a fair tax. The other point I want to make is that it won't actually work. It won't actually work. We can put all the taxes we like on coal and on gas and on petrol and on diesel in this country, but it is not actually going to do anything to save the environment. Nothing whatsoever. And if you look at the government's own documents, the government's own documents give away the truth that even if we go through all the trouble and the churn and the effort, even if we put all those jobs at risk, if we do all of that, even on the government's own figures, our carbon dioxide emissions go up from 578 million tonnes this year to 621 million tonnes in 2020. What kind of craziness is this, ladies and gentlemen, to tax every single Australian and still see emissions going up and up and up? And the final point I want to make before welcoming Grover, and give him a big round of applause. The final point I want to make before welcoming Grover is this.
Hold it.
Would you trust this government with a new tax? This is the government. They couldn't put pink bats into your roof without setting your houses on fire.
Good on you,
They couldn't build school halls without rip-off after rip-off. They can't keep the live cattle trade going because they panic in the face of a television program. Now they want to be trusted with a big new tax. The most incompetent government in living memory wants you to trust it with the most complex tax change in our history. Well, we shouldn't let them do it. Now, the final point I want to make is just to welcome Grover. He's obviously had a long and gruelling trip. And you know, I want to say, judge people by the effort they've put in. I walked down here from my office in Parliament House 500 metres away. This man has walked all the way from Albury, which I reckon would be at least 300 kilometres. So this man is doing the hard yards for our democracy. Thank you for giving him such a warm welcome.
OK, we might leave that rally there for now. That was Tony Abbott there live from the lawns outside Parliament addressing a no carbon tax rally. He was calling for an election and he's repeating what he said about Julia Gillard going back on her statement about a carbon tax. For more, let's cross now to